Usman is coming off of arguably the biggest win of his career to date when he finished Jorge Masvidal in the second round of the rematch at UFC 261. Not only did Usman beat Masvidal for the second straight fight, but he did so in an extra impressive fashion this time. Now, Usman seems targeted for a matchup against either Colby Covington or Michael Chiesa next as he looks to continue breaking UFC records in the welterweight division. But he's a prize fighter for his profession, and like all fighters, Usman wants to make money. Enter Paul, the YouTuber who has turned heads with his 3 knockout wins in boxing. I understand you think this is a game, which is probably why you don't realize that this is how people truly get hurt. I don't play fighting, and Covington and Poirier had a public feud as the two took shots at one another in the lead-up, and after Dustin lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov. It has only grown since then, as the Diamond said it would be on site when he saw Covington. However, Chaos says that was never the case. Instead, he says Poirier is a fake person and blasted the lightweight contender for a scam of a charity. Dustin Poirier, he's terrible. He's garbage. I used to train with him. The guy's a complete bum. I mean, he's funny because he's talking all this talk. It's on site when I see Colby. No, it's not on site, bitch. You know who your daddy is. Colby Covington said to James Lynch. Oh yeah, and talking about Dustin, I thought that fight should have gotten cancelled, man. Conman McGregor called out Dustin for the truth. He's using his charity to make money for himself. It's a tax write-off. He's not actually using that money for kids. He knows Conor McGregor knows Dustin Poirier is literally a con man, Covington continued. He's conning the people with this so-called charity, Good Fight Foundation. Dude guy's the fattest guy in the world. I wish people really knew who Dustin Poirier was, not just who they portray him as in the media.
And they go through it. I can show you now. You want to see the scars and stuff, right?
Sure.
Okay. So this scar right here, can you see that?
Yeah.
So this big one up top, this is where they opened me up and they took the titanium rod and they put it through the knee joint into the center of the tibia bone here. And this is all what they explained this to me, but the tibia bone, and just like all bones, you have the bone marrow, so it's a little softer in the middle. And I believe they hammered it through the center of the tibia bone, all the way from the top of the knee through the knee joint, which is why my knee's been killing me, all the way down to the ankle. Okay. So I got a titanium rod that they put in the middle of that bone. And where the fracture was, they lined it up, I guess, perfectly, was the hope, and hammered it through the center of both bones, and now that bone is one straight line. Now it has to take to the titanium and also take to the bone itself and heal. The other bone that snapped in half was the fibula. That's like the bone in the back, the smaller one. That they actually just left completely broken, and they want that to heal on their own. Usually they don't touch the fibula. It's not as weight bearing. I don't think it may not be weight bearing at all, which is kind of crazy because anytime I move my leg, if I go to pick up my leg right now, I feel the clicking and the movement of the fibula just moving in there. It's not super painful, and they told me it was going to happen, so it's not like a shock, but when I move my leg around, I can feel the fibula just like, clicking around in there, moving. And at some point, the hope is that it finds itself and heals, and that it will. Yeah. So then these are the portal scars here. Do you see that?
Yep.
So that's where they must have went in there with tools and helped guide that titanium rod down that bone. And then the other issue that they had to deal with was the let me see if I can get this. Oh my. This is where the bone came crashing through my calf muscle and then through the skin when I step back. So that's the other thing.
To be clear, you don't want to fight someone else between fighting for the belt, like an Alexander Rakic or someone like that. You want to wait for the winner of Jan and Glover, right?
Now, that's my plan. Yeah,
okay.
No, that's my plan, but that's my vision. That's my vision. If the UFC or president of the UFC, the Dana White, Will said, no, you need to fight with the Rakic first. Okay, let's do that. But I think I deserved this fight because the Dominic was a great opponent for that. I think Dominic is better than the Alexander, but no, nothing personal.
Prohaska is a big problem, and that's a word that I'm stealing from the legendary trainer Clayton Hires, but Clayton sent me a text after this match. In fact, about a minute before it had even concluded, he said, Chael, this guy's a problem. Are you watching him? Are you seeing the length? Are you seeing the range? Are you seeing all his shots are powerful? He wants to hurt everything, Errol. He wants to punch you in the mouth and hope your leg breaks. Everything's got bad intentions behind it. Because go out and do what he did, particularly against Dominic Reyes. Yes, I think that we learned a lot, even if he's only been in there twice. Not to mention that was a main event. It didn't get the championship rounds, but you still understand the point, Errol, that you got to have a little bit of ice going through your veins to carry a card and to go into those positions, to get elevated to number 2. I thought his interview told us a lot. And I don't mean in the words, I mean in the demeanor. The fact that he wasn't huffing and puffing. The fact that he didn't have a big adrenaline dump. It was almost as though he expected to have victory. And I would like to add this. I think that Dominic Reyes is as good as Dominic Reyes has ever been. I think Dominic Reyes is fighting the hardest guys in the world on any given night. You're going to have a couple that go against you. But I would like to mention that as a way of serving Prohaska. The setup to these techniques, the setup to what he was doing, to do that on somebody as big and long as Reyes. If you can get to Reyes' chin, you can get to anybody's chin.
You guys hear with fighters, all the hard work you put in, it's for that moment, right?
Sure.
To get in there and actually have the competition. When you don't get that payoff, I mean, how difficult is that for you, I guess, kind of like psychologically? Or
Yeah, it was such a weird, bag of emotions, man. It was like, I was just doing another interview where I was talking about this as well, and I said it was the first thing that happens is you think of course, right? Of course this is gonna happen. Shocker, right? Me, of course. It's already been however many months or a year and some months since I've been able to do this, and then of course this is happening, right? That was my first kind of reaction. And then anger wasn't the right word. I wasn't my God, man, of course. I wasn't angry. I was extremely disappointed. Obviously, a ton of work. The fight had been pushed back several times already. I'd been in training camp for a super long time, a 12 or 13 week fight camp, because I got the news about the fight 2 weeks before Christmas, and then the fight was March 20th. So it's not like you're training expecting, I think the date originally was supposed to be February. So you start training right when you get that notice, 9 weeks out from the actual fight date. Then it gets pushed back February 13th, then March 6th, then March 20th. And listen, it is what it is. I'm not complaining about the fight getting pushed back. But there is a certain level of oh my God, dude, so much work and disappointment. You feel man, we just spent a week in lockdown in a hotel in Vegas. I made weight the day before, and it's not like I'm cutting an extreme amount of weight, but making weight isn't fun. It's not something I would do unless I had a fight, and then the last emotion, this one's gonna sound weird, but there's definitely a certain relief, because there is anxiety and there is worry and there's nervousness that comes with getting ready for a fight. The closer the fight gets, the more nervous you get, the more anxiety ridden you get. Now again, I think there's a healthy amount of that, and I think I manage it pretty well. But when that goes away in a split second, it's instant, I don't know if relief is the right word, but that monkey's off your back. And then you feel a little bit of guilt for feeling that way. You're why am I feeling relieved that I'm not fighting? And again, but then the next kind of cog in that system would be, okay, so yeah, I am getting this kind of monkey off my back, but I just lost the opportunity to feel the absolute high and the joy that comes with a possible win. So yes, I don't have to deal with this anxiety for the next 10 hours. I don't have to go out there and put my ass on the line walking into the cage, but I also don't have the opportunity to feel how tremendous it feels when you win. So that was kind of like the natural progression of things. But I never really got super angry about it because I understand, you know. I get it.